What's going on, everybody? I know I was supposed to have did this maybe a couple of days, maybe yesterday, but definitely do apologize that I'm a little late doing this, but we're gonna definitely get it in nevertheless, as the Tennessee Titans unfortunately fall to the New Orleans Saints 16-15. It was a tough game to watch. It was a tough game to watch. Um, definitely lots of blame to go around. There is one culprit in particular, and we're going to talk about that, and that and a whole lot more. And we're definitely going to get ready to get this show going. And so everybody, make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Let everybody know where they could go so that they could check this out and definitely enjoy themselves. Yeah, and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. We're gonna go ahead and recap this unfortunate loss, but we're gonna definitely talk about it and more coming up right here in 60 seconds on TNT Post Game. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody? What's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody doing? Welcome into TNT tonight, TNT post game. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're gonna try to make light of tonight of the loss that we all had to suffer through as the Tennessee Titans fall to the New Orleans Saints 16-15 in a rather ugly and mostly, at least on one side of the ball, very uninspired game. We're definitely going to talk about that and more. Who's to blame for this loss? We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the god awful. And believe me, you want to hear the god awful because I definitely am going to bring the heat when it comes to that. And so we're going to talk about, the things that I noticed in this game that could have attributed to the victory, and also could have attributed to the loss as well. So definitely go ahead and make sure y'all share this show out. Definitely make sure y'all let everybody know where they can come on in and join the show. And we're definitely going to have quite a bit of fun talking about this game in particular. Definitely make sure y'all follow up on um, Instagram, on Twitter, and also on Facebook as well. Definitely make sure y'all follow those pages. And we're definitely gonna have some fun here in just a moment. So let's definitely go ahead and get started. And the Titans had every reason to win this game. And they didn't play like they deserved it. So this loss hurts. And I also forgot to tell you, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that like button as well. And then also make sure y'all get on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Play and everything. Make sure y'all get on that as well. So that way y'all are able to join us. You know, that you're able to be a part of it as well. And you'll know when everything comes out. So I apologize, y'all. I'm loading up one other thing that I kind of needed for this show. So I'm kind of loading that up as we speak. And this loss hurts. This loss really, really hurt. It stinks in a lot of different ways. Titans lose 16-15, but let's talk about the good. You know, the Tennessee Titans had every opportunity to win this game despite everything that went on. Everything that happened, they still had a chance to win this game, and they didn't. And as you can see on the bottom, you know, there were some struggles, especially offensively. There were definitely a lot of struggles. And I kind of saw that from the beginning, from the first drive of the game. It starts off great. You get the punch out and the fumble by Amani Hooker and recovered it with a great play inbounds on the opening kickoff of the season. And you end up getting the ball in great field position with a chance to make an early statement. But instead, Ryan Tannehill looked uncomfortable. He looked unprepared. He looked timid. And you could tell that from the very first drive of the game. And once you saw that, in my mind, I had to go back and really look at it. It's like, oh no, this is going to be a long game offensively. You could already tell. You could already tell. So you could tell this is going to be a long game from the beginning, the way I saw it. One of the first plays, he drops back to pass. Instead of just staying in the pocket and looking for a receiver, he's trying to leave the pocket when he doesn't have to. Chris Hubbard actually had a decent block on Cam Jordan. And instead, Ryan Tannehill backs up into his own man and ends up taking a sack. Or it was another play where he faked it, rolls out, and then he looks so unsure, he decides to run back inside. And I'm like, this doesn't look like the Ryan Tannehill we're used to. This Ryan Tannehill looks different, and it's not a good thing. And it was the start of what I felt would be an unmitigated disaster of a season opener for Ryan Tannehill. But we'll get to more on that in just a minute. Obviously, I got to give a shout out to everybody. Remember, also, I appreciate super chats as well. So definitely get those in also. Pig Wiggle says, tighten up. Ms. Mim says, the truth is going to be told. You ain't lying about that. I'm not going to lie to you. Reggie B says, not going to ask, what are we going to talk about? We should already know. And I'm sorry I'm kind of doing this impromptu. I had some issues with my Wi-Fi connection here in the True Studio, but I got that straightened out. And of course, by the time I got back, it was a little late and I needed to prepare. So I've been trying to prepare. I would have done this a little bit earlier, but just wanted to make sure I had my facts and stuff straight and prepared. I went back late last night into the early morning, went back and looked at this game in its entirety. The entire game, I went back and looked at it. And I know XD Gamer, our troll, is just spitting kittens right now because his Jaguars won, but it's only week one. It means not a lot right now. Quinn Pender says, hello, world. Let's see, Ty Hugo says, everyone knew Titans should have moved away from Tannehill by now. And, we're going to figure it out. We're going to see about that. So we're definitely going to find out what the Titans are definitely made of. But let's get to the good. We're going to get to the good, the bad, and the god awful. And that's where we're going to begin. So I want y'all to tell me what was your good, bad, and god awful as well, because we're going to get into this game and we're going to talk about the stats, and all of that is going to be a part of it. So trust me when I tell you, that's what we're about to get into right now. And there was definitely some good, there was definitely some bad, and we had one thing that was completely god awful. So, and make sure, remember, y'all, tomorrow night, we're going to have the show, your two-tone blue star of the week, and your dunce of the day. And also, we're going to have a return of Pick My Brain. So we're definitely going to do a little bit of that too to open up the season. So let's start off with some good. And we definitely have a lot to go into. So let's get into that. Nick Folk was automatic. He went 5 of 5 on field goals, even hit one from 50, which was his first one, because we really didn't get anywhere. And so that was pretty big. That was pretty big that we might have a kicker now, at least for the time being. We have a kicker. Folk, very good in his first game. Hit 5 of 5, all field goals. That's all the points we had to score. Of course, my guy Cooper had to come here after the game, so I figured he would. So that was definitely something there. But Folk definitely was automatic, was very good with the foot. Yeah, I know there was some people that was like, well, he didn't have too many touchbacks. He would have had a couple of touchbacks, but Rashid Shaheed decided to bring him out and things like that. And see, there's also this new, fair catch rule, which makes you wonder, what are people going to do with that? What are teams going to do with that rule and everything? So, I mean, that is going to definitely be a great question to ask, is what are you going to do about that? Instead of bringing the kick back, do you just take the fair catch and start at the 25, or do you try to run it? And so that's definitely going to be the question. And we're definitely going to be we're definitely going to find out. So I definitely liked that Nick Folk was pretty automatic. The second thing that I thought was good was that the defensive line dominated early. 4 sacks in the beginning. Arden Key there should have been 5 sacks. There should have been an extra sack on with Arden Key. Arden Key should have gotten another sack and would have been 2.5. So, that would definitely be pretty interesting. Um you know, that was just basically the play that could have won the game for the Tennessee Titans, because really, in this dogfight, oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. But that particular play could have won us the game. That particular play could have made a huge difference in what we could have done. And so to see it at that play, seeing that play happen like that, and I may bring a guest in just a bit, my guy Coop, maybe kind of maybe give his thoughts a little bit on that for just a few minutes. So yeah, give me a second. But yes, so defensive line dominated. I mean, Simmons had a sack. Danico Autry had a sack. Arden Key had 1.5 sacks. It really should have been 2.5 sacks and a fumble, which should have been a touchdown for the Titans. And that's something else that we're going to get into, because this should have been a blowout win for the Tennessee Titans. This should have been a blowout in stunning fashion. That's what it should have been. But that is the good. And also good job out of defense. I mean, they really stuffed the run and did it extremely well. They didn't let the Saints run the ball at all in this game. I mean, right now they're number 5 against the run to begin the season, but I mean, there's definitely more to come. I mean, we held the Saints to 69 yards and 2.6 yards to carry. Very impressive. Definitely very impressive by this defense. A very good performance overall by the defense, to be honest, because, I mean, they kept them in the game. They kept Bell and Tannehill out, but wasted that effort, and it didn't end up getting the win. Let's get to the bad, and the bad is simply this: bad coaching. Bad coaching. Ms. Definitely just trying to make this just a quick recap of this game. So that's why I might bring one person on, and we're just gonna kind of make it a little bit quick when it comes to that. But I'm definitely gonna try to get you on for ladies' night. We'll definitely do that, Ms. Mims. I definitely promise you that. The bad coaching. Now, there were some things that Tim Kelly did that I really, really, really liked. There were a couple of plays that were schemed up. The reverse flea flicker, I thought, was a very good play call, and it was the right time to do it. And it's just the fact that a certain somebody we're going to talk about just completely screwed that whole play up. But that's not the part where I say it's bad coaching. The bad coaching is mainly Mike Vrabel and Tim Kelly. First off, why are you taking Derrick Henry out of the game so much? It's like every time Derrick Henry makes a couple of good plays, they take him out. It's like they really want it. And I get it. I understand that they want to get Tajay Spears involved. They want to take a little pressure off of Henry and not, beat on him so much. They don't want it where it's like we have to depend on Derrick Henry. We have to give him, 30 plus carries a game. But you also got to be smart enough to not outsmart yourself and understand if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think that's the problem. I think in this game, the Titans kind of tried to fix something that wasn't necessarily broken. And Again, I get it. They're trying to preserve Derrick Henry. They don't want him to have to carry the heavy load the whole time. But sometimes it was working. It was working. Derrick Henry. Now, I did like they had some plays where they had Tajay Spears and Derrick Henry on the field together. I did like that. I definitely liked that. And I hope to see more of that because then again, you kind of figure, where's it going? Where's it going? And then, they were running Tajay Spears a little bit inside. And I can see why they're doing that because it's like, you don't want to bring Tajay Spears in the game and think, oh, it's definitely going to be a pass. So for that, I understand. I get it. I absolutely understand maybe that logical thinking, but I think Tim Kelly may have outthought himself a little bit too much. Mike Vrabel, there was a particular call, I think it was third down, and they made the stop, and there was a holding call. Vrabel elected not to take the penalty. It was 31. Titans make the stop. They get a holding call against the Saints. If you take that penalty, it knocks them out of field goal range. That was a 52-yard attempt. You back it up 10 yards, you kick them out of field goal range, and you see what your defense can do. Now, maybe in that instance, Vrabel is like, you know what? We made the stop. We don't want to give them another chance to get a first down, convert a first down, turn an 8-yard play into like a 15-yard play. So I kind of get that. So I'm not necessarily mad about that, even though you did give the Saints 3 free points. But I mean, you got a rookie kicker. You got a rookie kicker in his first game. See if he can make the tough kick from 52 and you live with it. So I'm not necessarily mad about that one. Then there was the time at the end of the game where there were some who were not happy, say, on 4th and 6, you're at the 15, you go for it there. You go for it on 4th and 6, it's right about the 2-minute mark. You go for it and on 4th down. But I agree with Vrabel on that call. And there we go. There we go. I'm back. So I'm not really mad at that particular call because you trust your defense. You trust your defense to get the ball back for you. But at the same time, you also got to think the way Ryan Tannehill was playing, would you really trust him to convert a 4th and 6 with the game on the line? You're down 4. You're down 4. Yes, at worst, if you don't get it, you got the Saints backed up. But you would have to use all 3 of your timeouts to get the ball back, and you might get the ball back with a little over a minute to go, and you would have to drive for a touchdown. You have to drive for a touchdown. Now, so I'm with that call. Another bad that I didn't even think to bring up, and I'm going to bring it up right now, is the officiating. The officiating was bad. As Ms. Mims said, called it back when it could have been a touchdown for the Titans. I agree. The officiating sucked badly. Ron Tolbert's supposed to be one of the better officials. So I'm thinking we might have found our new Jerome Boger. because the main play we're talking about is the Arden Key fumble. We had this exact same situation happen in Jacksonville to end our season. They called that a fumble. But here, even though Derek Carr, the ball was already coming out and he pushed the ball forward, that should have been ruled a fumble. At worst, it should have been Titans ball right where Kevin Byard picked up the ball. At best, you let the play out. Byard runs into the end zone. That is a Titans touchdown. Because right now at that point, it was 6-3 Titans. It should have been 13-3 Titans after that play. So you missed that call. You missed the pass interference call on Tannehill's second interception as they grabbed Chris Moore. But then again, they did miss the call on Elijah Molden, which would have been a pretty big play. So I guess they figured they owed us one. But the officiating was not very good at all. And I'm gonna get some of y'all comments in just a minute. AwakenTheEternal.com. AwakenToTheEternal.com. Bad coaching. This is why Vrabel is not transparent as a head coach. He's inept as it comes to game time management and putting the right pieces in places to make plays. I have a love-hate relationship with Mike Vrabel. I know a lot of people say, yeah, Mike Vrabel's a really good coach, a really good coach. I mean, yes, theory, he is a good coach, but he makes some dumb mistakes at times that messes you up. In most instances with a name, if a defense only gives up 16 points, you're probably most likely winning the game. So that, was pretty bad. The offensive line was not great. Peter Skoronski, I think, did okay. There was a play or two where he struggled. But clearly, Peter Skoronski is the best offensive lineman on this team. Andre Dillard looked terrible early on. Offensive line kind of got a little better as time went on. But offensive line had its struggles. Titan Kong says, the good I can say Nick Folk, Peter Skoronski, Derrick Henry. Shows he hasn't lost a step, even though he got half of his touches. Hooker and Arden Key's performance he loved. I agree. I mean, some blame on the defense. I do get that. I mean, yeah, you got to make that last stop. You don't give up that run on third down. At worst, you give up a field goal. You give up a field goal. You get the ball back with a chance to drive. You're only going to be down 4. You get a touchdown, you win. But now we get to the god awful. And let's just let the cat out of the bag. There were people like Jared Stillman who would say Ryan Tannehill isn't the whole reason you lost the game. And I'm going to call out a lot of fans who don't like the fact that if somebody says a player or the team sucks at some point, that you're not being a real fan. And don't get me wrong, I respect every single Tennessee Titans fan there is. I love y'all. I'm going to respect y'all. I'm going to, do my best to bring the best content, but I'm going to also be respectful and show love to every single Tennessee Titan fan around. However, with that being said, some of you can be a bit delusional. Some of you have your head so far in the clouds that you need to come back down to reality. This is the reality I think all of you need to face, at least for this game. Ryan Tannehill was god-awful. He sucked. He sucked. Don't give me that whole, the team, we lost as a team and all of that. And, and I know me as Miss Mims was talking, and me and Miss Mims was going back, and I think she said, like, Vrabel said, why didn't you blame Tannehill? And I told her, I said, because it's coach speak. Of course, Mike Vrabel is not going to throw a player of his under the bus, although he should. Ryan Tannehill sucked, and sucked in the worst way possible. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All three of those interceptions could have been prevented. All three of them. And I don't want to hear this whole thing of, well, Josh Allen had a bad game too. Burrow had a bad game too. Here's the thing about that. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen can get passes. Why? Because usually when you talk about who are some of the best quarterbacks in the league, up there with Mahomes, guess who's always up there in the conversation? Josh Allen. Guess who else is going to be in the conversation going forward? Joe Burrow. Another guy that's going to be in the conversation, even though he lost on Sunday, Justin Herbert, who had a really good game. Trevor Lawrence is going to be up there now. One guy who is not ever in that conversation, you have to go down about 12, 13 quarterbacks before you even reach him. And that's Tannehill. And the fact of the matter is, Tannehill had probably, I would dare say, his worst game as a Titan. Even worse than the Cincinnati game. And those interceptions told me why Ryan Tannehill should not be the quarterback. And you know what? Proof is in the pudding. The first interception, and let's break down these interceptions. The first pick, probably should have just threw that ball away. He threw it into double coverage. He underthrew D-Hop, thinking, you know what? He can go. He's a comeback catcher. 9 times out of 10, he's going to catch that ball over the corner. Problem was, he kind of underthrew it and gave Marshawn Lattimore the chance to get up and beat Hopkins to the spot. But there was nobody else open, so that was on Tannehill. He should have just threw it away. Now, the second interception. Probably the second interception was pretty bad because he goes deep to Chris Moore. When you have a deep post with Chig wide the hell open. Chig had nobody around him. If anything, that's at least a big play. And you're out of bounds, maybe at about the 20-yard line, and you're in business. Chig was wide open, and you missed him. Didn't even look his way. You're going to Chris Moore, who's in double coverage. And then the third interception. This was the one that really pissed me off. And I have video. I do not own rights to this, but here is the third interception. And there's something that I don't think a lot of people noticed. A couple people did. But take a look at this play.
Second and short. Play action. Tannehill. Open targets. Drops. Spears.
One. That's actually not the play I wanted to talk about. But I'm even trying to see if I even have that particular play. I think okay. Y'all give me a second. I'm actually going to load up that particular play. Give me about 3 seconds. Give me about 10 seconds. I'm going to load that play up for you and show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. But it is a play that will really have you pissed off. Okay, I'm bringing it up. But, and yes, he was horrible in week 1 against the Cardinals, and we ended up winning the game nevertheless. Okay, I'm going to see if I have it now. Here it is. This is the play I was talking about. You'll really be ticked off. He's open. That was thrown. But if you take a look at, he's open. And for more evidence, here it is right there. Tannehill is about to throw the ball. And this will be watching it late last night. Tannehill is about to throw the ball. At the bottom of the screen, you have DeAndre Hopkins blanketed by Marshawn Lattimore, by Paulson Adebo. You see this guy at the top of your screen, the 16 at the top of your screen? That's Treylon Burks. That's Treylon Burks running wide open, nobody even close. Notice the yard line, about the 16-yard line. If Tannehill messed up tail could have at least looked slightly to his left, that is a 84-yard touchdown catch. That is an 84-yarder. At best, that is an 84-yard touchdown. At worst, it is a huge play with one guy to beat. And I think Burks would have beat that guy. Nobody was even around. His hand is up. Treylon Burks' hand is literally up like, throw me the ball, I'm open. And Tannehill does not even look his way. Quite a few people didn't notice that, but some did. Was wide open. Just like the second interception where Chig on a deep post, wide open, nobody around. And he threw the interception. And he should have thrown 2 more picks that would have been pick sixes. Lattimore had a second one that would have been a pick six if he just holds on to it. Ryan Tannehill was god-awful. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not giving up on the season. The season is not over, but it wasn't a good start. And then there were a couple of other plays. So if you're up 6-3, you get that return for the touchdown by Byard, that will make it 13-3. And I'll give the Saints their points. So, 13-9, 13-9, you get another field goal, it should be 16-9. If you get the Chig touchdown, 16-9, you get the Chig touchdown. You get the Chig touchdown, you get the Spears touchdown, and Burks, you're probably up like 30-16. You probably win this game going away easily. Matter of fact, take away, if that touchdown happens, you take away the 3 points. There were a couple of swings in that game because the fumble that wasn't called, that was a 10-point swing. Instead of Titans getting 7 one way, they give up 3. So it would have been 13-3. Then the Burks, the third interception ends up being a touchdown for the Saints. So that's a 14-point swing. That's another 7 that they shouldn't have. So you really should have been winning like 30-9 at that point. And then the other 2 missed touchdowns too. So there were about a good 14 points the Tennessee Titans should have had that they didn't. Well, really, yeah. There's really about 28 points the Tennessee Titans could have had, but they didn't. They should have won that game going away. And it shouldn't have even been close. I'm going to get some of y'all comments now because I know some of y'all, these comments are flying in now. I mean, yeah, there was some time where the receivers didn't help. I agree, but Tannehill has to be better than that. Tannehill with happy feet. Pressure that wasn't there, like he was seeing ghosts. I agree. Tannehill didn't get it done. Yeah, other quarterbacks have bad games too. I know, but that ain't what we're about. Queen Lele. Tannehill was forcing a lot of those passes. It was hard watching that game live in person. I agree. He did force a lot. And Ms. Mims, I am going to listen to that video. I'll talk about that on Wednesday. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody want to say, well, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow had bad games too. Yeah, I have more faith. I'm like Titan Kong. I have more faith that those 2 guys are going to bounce back before Tannehill does. All those picks could have been easily avoided. And Tyler Rowland of Locked On Titans mentioned it. You give Tannehill about 4 to 6 games. If we're like 0-3, if we lose to the Chargers, Bengals, if after the first 4 games we're 1-3, again in that game against Indianapolis, I might look at Malik. And, some are saying I think Will Levis could have played better. I don't know if Will Levis would have played better. I don't know if Malik would have won us this game. But now I am going to say one thing about Burks because I know Chris Frazier, who loves Tannehill to death and will say and gave some excuses saying, well, his receivers weren't getting open and his receivers weren't getting open and I'm trying to find the post. Yeah, he basically said he had more passing yards than Joe Burrow, same number of interceptions as Josh Allen, not the only quarterback with 0 touchdowns. Season not over. Part of that is right. Season is not over. However, Burrow and Josh Allen are really good quarterbacks. Ryan Tannehill is not. So the fact of the matter is, Tannehill sucked. Plain and simple. Does that mean the season's over? No, it's not. He did try to force some passes to D-Hop. And again, I appreciate trying to get DeAndre Hopkins involved. I appreciate that. But sometimes you don't force it. D-Hop is an amazing receiver. And I think he's going to be great. But instead of, what they should have did, what they should have did with Chris Olave, get him open, scheme him open, and they didn't. Goku says 50-50 chance Tannehill bounces back and get us to 1-1, or he might have a terrible game and the crowd could chant bench Tanny. And that's the thing. I think Austin of A to Z Sports brought that up and said, you know what? They might announce the defense at the home game, at the first home game, so Ryan Tannehill doesn't get booed. So I could see that too, because I think the first couple of bad plays, if we hear the boo birds, that's not going to help either. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. I know a lot of people are saying go for Will Levis. I don't think Will Levis is ready yet. Obviously, if he was ready, he would have beat Malik out for the job, and he didn't. Kent was up. I know he wasn't happy about the game either. I mean, I think he's somewhat coming back to the fold. Tannehill is done in Tennessee. I mean, he could be. Queen Lele, who was at the game, basically said that Superdome was loud. And I bet it was. It's always been a very tough place to play. And yep, we are on an 8-game losing streak. We're on an 8-game losing streak right now. Not very good. Darren Roberts says Tannehill told Buck interceptions don't matter. Yeah, they do. They do kind of matter. Jacqueline says, what did you think about Harold Landry? Really didn't see much of Harold Landry to really say anything. I mean, I know he's still trying to kind of get back in the groove and back in the fold. So that's going to be the question that we all have. But right now, for a few minutes, I'm going to bring in a guest for a few minutes for just a second. I know he's probably a very happy guy after all of this. From the People Who Love Sports podcast, somebody I'm probably going to see in the morning. And this is going to be a very fun conversation to have. Bring back Big Coop.
Yo.
Coop, I'm pretty sure you're a happy guy right now. So
Yeah, man.
I'm going to give you the floor is yours.
All right, can you hear me? Everything good?
So far, so good.
All right, man. I mean, it was a good game. I'll give y'all's credit. Tannehill was ass. I'll be honest. Um, just think a lot could have been better for us on the offensive side, finishing some of those drives. Maybe, maybe the same for y'all. But I think it was a good game. I think everything went well. I was happy with how we played, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Giving up 5 field goals, I mean, I'll take that over 5 touchdowns any day. So I'm excited for the season. I'm ready to see how we get on now. Only wishing the best for y'all. So let's see where it goes from here. And I think I hope y'all get better and I hope we see improvements on both sides. And we'll just see how it goes. Gonna be a
All right. Now, I'm gonna quickly be paid. What's up with you, dog? I'm gonna ask the elephant in the room question. Ooh, trade for Brian Burns. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad player to have. I don't know if he'd be available. Okay. Question. Fumble or not, in your honest opinion?
oh
Was it a fumble or
oh.
not? I think we lost him. Dang, I must have shook him up on that question. We're gonna give Coop time to. Oh, there you go. There you go. He's back. Okay,
Wait, yeah, somebody was trying to call me. I'm on my phone, so
I see.
I'm on the phone right. I'm using my phone. But you said fumble or not with the Derek Carr play?
With the Derek Carr,
Man, I mean, I looked at it. I mean, we all saw it. I think it could have went either way. Uh, initial thoughts, I was like, I thought it was a fumble, and then when I started looking at, kind of looked more like a pass, but I think coming from me, it could have been a call that went could have went either way. And I wouldn't have been mad if they all had got the touchdown. Y'all deserved it, and y'all probably win the game if y'all get it. So I'll say either way, and I don't know if the refs made the right call, but I mean it was close. It was
I
close.
mean, and that's why I think you let the play itself out. You
Yeah, they
know,
blew the whistle. They blew the whistle too early. They should have let that play out.
I definitely agree. And really, they didn't really blow the whistle until after Byard picked up the ball and was starting to run.
Yeah, that was a
So,
little questionable on their side.
and I'm thinking at worst, if you're going to stop the whistle there, then that should mean at absolute worst, it should have been a fumble, and the Titans get the ball right there where Kevin Byard picked it up. At worst, that's
That
what should have happened.
that's what
That
I
was
think.
a
I think that should have been the right call. I believe that was the
yeah,
right call.
because at worst, either way, it should have been a fumble. Best case
Yeah,
scenario, that's a touchdown for Tennessee, or at worst, okay, ball picked up at like the 5-yard line, so it should be 1st and 10 Titans going the other way, and that's 3 points the Saints shouldn't have. But I'm not going to take away. I will give compliments and congratulations. Marshawn Lattimore, I've always thought was the best, is
Woo.
one of the better quarters in the league. I was worried when he came out of the draft
Lattimore.
because I knew he had some injury.
I was happy with how he played. He had some great plays, especially his
He was
pick. And man,
He should have had two. He should
yeah,
have had two.
should have had two. You're right.
You
But
know,
again, I still think offensively we could have played a little better. Obviously, y'all have a great defense, and we saw that. But I think on just a couple of those field goal draws, it felt like we should have had a touchdown. And y'all should have had a touchdown too. But I mean, it is what it is. We move on. Hopefully, both of our seasons go well now, and I got to get ready for the Panthers on Monday. Should be a fun game to
hey,
watch.
that's going to be a very interesting game indeed. Definitely, Bryce Young. So got to see if he's the future and everything. But uh, right quick before we end things, anything coming up on the big show on the people who love?
Man, I'm actually getting this week's episode together right now. Gonna try to call one of my buddies when I get done with this, talk about what we want to talk about. He's a Chiefs fan, so we got to talk about the Lions. I know some of this will be unrelated, but I got something cooking for Saturday. I'm going to LSU Mississippi State, and I'm gonna try something with the YouTube. We're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully, I'll be able to put it out with something I like, and I think it's something people might want to see if people are interested. If it goes good, I might start doing it more often. So
All right. All right. Well, everybody, y'all know our guy Coop.
also,
You're gonna
good
probably be
game,
seeing him quite a
good
bit.
good game, sir. Good game. I have to say that. Great game.
It hurt my soul, but um if one of those 3 interceptions don't happen, we probably do win it. But hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
we
It's
move
like in
on.
football. You know, you enjoy the victory, or if you're hurting on the loss, that next day it doesn't exist anymore. You move on.
Nope.
And that's what we're gonna have
Move
to
on.
do. So
Yeah.
tough loss, hate it. But we got the Chargers and they were in a shootout with Miami. So
Hmm.
um
That was a great
hopefully
game.
that cross country, hopefully this cross country plane flight will affect them.
Hmm.
And
Y'all got
definitely look
y'all
forward
got
to seeing more.
y'all got the Chargers this week, or y'all got Miami? I
We got
can't remember
Chargers this
think.
week. We got Miami later in the season.
Ooh, I'll give a prediction on that real quick if I get like 30 seconds.
All right.
With the Chargers, I think it depends on how Tannehill plays. I think if Tannehill plays better than he did last week, I think y'all win that game. But I think that'll be a very competitive game, and hopefully y'all score a touchdown. But I definitely think
Yeah,
y'all could.
me
That's a
too.
winnable game. That's a winnable game for y'all. Home opener in Nashville. Fans are gonna be hyped, and I think it could go either way. I'll give y'all I'll give the Titans that one. But if
Well,
Tannehill doesn't play well, and y'all just fix some of the if y'all don't, if some of the mistakes are apparent again from what we saw Sunday, I mean I don't know, but I think y'all get it done. I think it's a good bounce back game.
all right. Well,
Oh,
definitely appreciate that little tune in. Everybody, y'all make sure y'all check out People Who Love Sports podcast. This young man, he's on his way up, y'all. He's definitely on his way up. He's definitely a good college football guy. You definitely need to check him out.
yeah, we got
Definitely.
the
And
college foot. We got a lot of college football coming up this weekend, especially at the Bama in Texas. Got a lot to
yeah,
say,
we were talking about that. Tulane let us down. All Tulane had to do was win the
man.
game. I win a bet. I had
Hey,
a bet. 4 out of 5 worked.
Ole Miss looked good though. Ole Miss looked good. I liked how they played. So y'all should be able to tune in. Hopefully, we'll have a new episode either tomorrow or Thursday. By Friday for sure. Well, probably Thursday because I'm working Memphis and Navy, so I would like to talk about that game. But yeah, thank you for having me on. So
Well, I definitely appreciate that. Y'all make sure y'all go check him out. Y'all go make sure y'all go like and subscribe to his show. He's doing some good stuff. He's on the up and up. And Coop, I'll see you in the morning.
all right, I'll see you in the morning. Back to bed.
Yes, indeed. And that was my guy Cooper. Coop coming in here from the People Who Love Sports podcast. Y'all make sure y'all definitely check him out. He's definitely doing some good stuff. He's young and up and coming in the podcast game. So definitely check him out. But Ms. Mims asked a very interesting question. How can we move on with this loss? I mean, it's easier said than done. They gotta, it's just like in football. You gotta have a short memory. Forget about it and move on to the next one after 24 hours. So now we need to be focused solely on the LA Chargers, who beat on the Dolphins 36-34 in a shootout of a football game. And so we know we got a good quarterback coming in here in Justin Herbert. You got now Austin Eckler. We don't know if he's gonna play in this game or not. But you got guys like Quentin Johnston, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. We got some good players on that side. You got Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack on that other side. So, like Lou Man said, they're gonna be a ticked off team this could be a very dangerous game for us. And so we're definitely going to see that. And Amar says Titans beat the Chargers, hopefully. If not, they're going to go 0-4. And if that happens and they go 0-4, it's over for Tannehill. It has to be over. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But anything that I missed talking on, we will definitely talk about tomorrow night. Definitely look out for an early recording of the Truth League report as I talk about some of the other games around the league and everything that happened. I'll probably have that out tomorrow afternoon before the show. So y'all go check that out before TNT tonight. And then we're definitely going to talk. We're going to put a bow on this game, get your two-tone blue star of the week and your dunce of the day nominations out and ready. Get some questions together. And I will see y'all tomorrow night, TNT tonight. And make sure y'all tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.